Hi, everybody. I am Jax West, and I own the Stephen Avery Project. And today, Kathleen Zellner is going live in approximately 4 minutes from her Twitter page. And so we are going live. So for those of you who don't have Twitter, I will be reading her tweets. I know the guilters will be here because their life can't seem to go on without looking at me. And they're always criticizing what I wear. So I put makeup on, I put some pearls on.
Paul Kalosinski.
I've got my nice top hat, and I put on a suit jacket. Okay? Sorry, that's Paul Kalosinski calling me. I know he had a doctor appointment today. So I'm all dressed all fancy for the guilters. So, ta-da! So what we'll be doing is on one screen, I have Stephen Avery Project up where I am going live. And then my other screen over here is I've got Kathleen's Twitter up. So I will be reading.
Paul Kalosinski.
I will be reading those as they happen. And then we also have moderators from the Stephen Avery Project who are going to be taking screenshots of them all. And we will make a photo album of that and post them all together afterwards so you can get them all. So, and today's not a day to be asking me questions or anything like that. Today is a Kathleen Zellner day. We're just going to go over whatever she is tweeting. I'm just going to read them so you guys all have it. And then we will be doing a live tomorrow in our MAM gossip group that we're doing around this time tomorrow. We have it scheduled for 1 p.m. my time, and it's 12:28 p.m. my time right now, because we do a lot of lives in the gossip group, and I usually do them at 6 p.m. my time, which for people in other time zones is like horrible for them. So yeah, so we're doing that one tomorrow, and then we can discuss this stuff more. And so, and like I said, I have her Twitter up over here. I am not a twatter, even though some people may say I'm part of that. So I'm not real knowledgeable in using Twitter. Stephen Avery Project, we do have a Twitter account, which is, what is it? Bravery SAP. But we have it hooked up to this Facebook page. So whatever myself or any of the moderators post goes directly to our Twitter account. And that's about the extent of that. So I'll just be hanging on here on, I'm refreshing her Twitter. It's 12:29 p.m. allegedly, according to my computer. So, and I believe last time Kathleen did this, it lasted an hour. So, yeah, be about an hour. And then we will have this posted. It will make a photo album that we'll post here in Stephen Avery Project, which is our public page. And then we'll also put it in our gossip, which is our closed group where we talk more in depth into the case. And while we're waiting for Kathleen to go live, the moderators, if you're here, if you could post the link to, I want to plug the petition that Injustice Anywhere started a couple years ago. It's for the juvenile interrogation protection law. So if you haven't signed that, please do. Hopefully somebody will post that link in here for you at some point. Injustice Anywhere is who wrote and manages that. Injustice Anywhere also owns the Facebook page called Free Brendan, and that Twitter is Free Brendan Now. And I'm the admin for that Free Brendan page. And so that's set up just like this one, with anything I post on that Facebook page goes on the Twitter. So, ooh, what is this? What is this? What is all these numbers that she's got posted on here? Hold on. What's going on here that I missed over here on her Twitter? Because it says, all right, Making a Murderer watchers, listen up. I'm going to walk you through what I've learned through my investigation that you didn't see in the show. 1. On 10/31/05, Scott Toddock visited Bobby at the Avery salvage yard around noon. 2. After Teresa called the Dassey landline for directions, our suspect contacted her back with the Dassey address. 3. Teresa arrived at the ASY, which is Avery salvage yard for those that don't follow the initials thing, around 2:31 p.m. on 10/31/05. Only Bobby and Steven saw her. After completing her photo assignment, she left and turned west on Highway 147 around 2:38 p.m. Our suspect followed her. Steven was in his trailer. 4. Our suspect gets Teresa to pull over. She opened her car's rear cargo door to retrieve her camera, was knocked to the ground and struck with an object. 5. Teresa was put in the rear cargo area of the RAV4 and driven back to ASY. 6. Teresa's RAV4 was spotted leaving the ASY with an unknown driver at 3:45 p.m. 7. RAV4 was left by the old dam west of Mishicot on 10/31/05. 8. 3 witnesses saw RAV4 up to 11/4/05. Then it was gone. 9. Recent investigations shows the RAV4 battery died, so it was replaced in order to move the RAV4 to the ASY. 10. Teresa's body was burned in a burn barrel. Dassey burn barrel had human bones. 11. 60% of bones and 31 teeth missing. 12. A witness smelled horrible odor of something burning in Manitowoc County gravel pit in the evening of 10/31/05. 13. The Dassey garage was never luminoled or DNA tested. Bobby hung a deer in the Dassey garage on 11/4/05. 14. Sickakey note. Body burned at smelter 11/4/05, 3 a.m. Toddock worked the night shift at the smelter facility. His nickname, Skinny. 15. Teresa's electronics were not burned in Steven's burn barrel. They were burned in Dassey burn barrel. 16. Suspect knew Steven's finger re-bled on 11/3/05 because he observed it. 17. Suspect had access to Steven's trailer to remove blood from the sink. 18. Our only suspect knew the blood in the sink was Steven's and not Teresa's. This rules out the police. 19. Suspect planted blood in RAV4, bones in Steven's burn pit, and Teresa's electronics in Steven's burn barrel. In conclusion, the killer is the person who had the access and opportunity to plant Steven Avery's fresh blood in Teresa Hallback's car. Use hashtag AskZellner for questions. And then she retweeted, it would be so much easier to walk away, close the door, not spend another dime, believe all the unproven allegations if we could have just duplicated the state's forensic evidence. Oh, this is old. But neither we nor anyone else can do so. Why? Because he is innocent. Now let me refresh after I just read all that and see. Now I have to scroll down. All right, 17, 18, 19 in conclusion. Rook Fire asked, do you think it was Bobby? And Kathleen said, we cannot rule him out. Somebody who has me blocked tweeted her. And Kathleen replied with, no access, no opportunity, not the blood vial. Emily Joe says, has Bobby's garage been searched for DNA and blood? And Kathleen said, yes, in progress. Ashley said, is there any evidence on if Bobby and Scott had contact with Ryan before the killing? Kathleen said, no proof of that. And let me refresh. Lacey says, how do we know Scott was on ASY at noon? Kathleen says, witness confirmed. And I just refreshed and there's nothing else new. Let me refresh again. Okay. Taylor says, is there evidence that supports they knew there was fresh blood in his home, or did they enter the home just in hopes of finding plantable DNA? Kathleen, there is evidence the person knew Stephen's cut finger broke open and that he bled on 11/3. Refresh. Jose, how do you know it was replaced, meaning the battery? And Kathleen says, we've confirmed that it was replaced with the wrong sized battery for the RAV4, the same size battery that is used in a Crown Victoria, which we all know is a very common law enforcement vehicle. Refreshing. Nothing new. Oh my God, we're at 12:37 already. Just refreshed, nothing new. Do you know where Coborn's cell was when he called in the plates? That was a question I just sent in. Now I'll refresh and see if she's answered anything while I type that. No, nothing here yet. Oh, wait. Why is there stuff in another spot? Somebody said, where is the call log proof that your suspect called Teresa back with the address? And Kathleen said, not restricted to a call log. And I'm scrolling down to make sure that there's nothing else down here like I missed it. I'll refresh. Sorry, this is taking, not as fast as everybody thought. And I see somebody talking about she hasn't released the big news. I don't know if there was any big news that she was going to release. I think this was just going to be a Q&A, that people can be asking her questions and she's answering. And, she's telling you her theory. All right. Sue says, what evidence shows the electrical items were moved from Dassey burn barrel to Stephen burn barrel? And Kathleen said, nothing was burned in Stephen's burn barrel. Tin cans and vegetation present. Rat ant saw fire in Dassey burn barrel. Sari says, have you had access to the RAV4 yet? Kathleen said, no, this is an issue on appeal. Shannon says 60% of bones and 31 teeth missing from the Dassey barrel. The Dassey barrel, you mean? Because they were removed and transported to the Avery barrel? And Kathleen says they are missing entirely from ASY. Refresh. Nothing new yet. I'm scrolling through your comments right now. I'm going to go back and forth between scrolling through your comments and refreshing. Okay, what is this one? Somebody else who has me blocked asked something that I can't see, and Kathleen says, we have 2 other witnesses.